In this video we're just going to talk about working with the files on the Panasonic GH6. So once you've shot your video and you want to get it off onto the computer, there's a few things to sort of be aware of on this camera. So if you're coming from the GH5 for example, you would have had your two SD card slots, so the odds are, you know, a lot of laptops take SD cards, and you know you've probably got plenty of card readers lying around that accept SD cards, but the new card, the CFExpress Type B, is a little bit more of a kind of specialist card in the sense that you know, not all card readers are going to work with it. So if you don't have a card reader, that's okay. You can still work with the card. So what you can do, I've got so this is just the Lumix cable that comes with the camera, comes in the box. It's just the charging cable, so we've just got a USB-C cable from the box. You can plug that in, and then it's plugged into my MacBook Pro, and then when we flick the camera on, it comes up with this menu. If you want to work with the files on the computer, what you need to do is use this top one, so PC storage. So if we click on that, and then it will just say please wait for a bit, and then it's actually charging the camera whilst it's doing this. But now we're connected to the computer, so what we'll do is we'll just jump over to the computer, and whilst we're on here, you can kind of see we've got our cameras plugged in. So we've got one card plugged in at the moment, so if you were to have two cards in there, so I've just got one CFExpress Type B card, but if you were to have the SD card plugged in there as well, what would happen is they'd essentially come up as two different drives. So depending on how your recording setup is going, you may have pictures on one drive, videos on the other drive. There'll be a link to how to set up, you know, backup or relay recording, for example. But yeah, depending on your configuration, you know, obviously that's where your files are going to be. So if we're just shooting normal file naming, everything will be under DCIM, and then you know it just creates these Panasonic folders every, I think it's 999 files. So yeah, everything's going to be sat in here, which is great. But then one of the limitations essentially of this, so we've got this photo for example, if we want to drag that onto the computer, obviously we can. We could take the whole lot and put it onto the computer, that's not a problem. You know, we essentially can take all our files off of there. The limitation from the PC tethering essentially, or the PC storage mode essentially, comes in the form of not being able to now delete things. So if I wanted to just remove that, I can't. If I want to rename something, which is more rare, I can't. So it's really, if you're the type of person that just shoots a whole card, and then you know you're happy to just format it in the camera, then you've got no problems. But if you're the sort of person that sort of shoots a little bit of one thing and then another, and you maybe want to do sort of a partial delete, you're going to be in the camera for quite a long time, you know, bulk deleting files, because you won't be able to do it this way. So it's just worth knowing that. And then obviously if you do want to, what we'll do actually, if we eject this, so if we jump out of here, make sure just to eject it, just so you know nothing corrupts. And then what we'll do is just jump back into here. So if we take our cable out, because this is ejected. Now what I do have, if we switch the camera off, we can take our CFExpress card out. If you want that flexibility, what you'll need to get yourself is just a reader like this. So that's just a CFExpress Type B reader, and just make sure it is a Type B reader and that it is compatible with those cards. So it's literally just works exactly the same as the camera. So you know, pop in, pop out type thing. It's same thing. So then once we've plugged this in, we'll just jump back over into the screen again. We'll see it comes up in exactly the same way, but now we do have our options to, we can move things to the bin, we can rename things. We've just got full flexibility over what we can do now in the card. So it may be that you actually don't, you know, you're not worried about that, you're happy to just shoot and format cards, but if you want that flexibility to be able to delete certain files on the computer and then put the card back into the camera, it's worth bearing in mind that you're probably going to need to get a CFExpress reader. And you know, they're not particularly expensive. It is another expense after you've obviously just bought a camera, probably a lens, all the other bits that go with it, CFExpress card. But it's about, I think that cost me, it was £40 I think, so for me that £40 is just, you know, it saves me a lot of time messing around in the camera, so it's completely worth it for me. But yeah, hopefully that helps, and if it does, give the video a like. If you want more GH6 content, then please subscribe to the channel.